what if I told you that balancing your hormones could be as simple as changing what you put on your plate? Seriously, today we're gonna dive into a really fascinating approach that uses just 5 specific foods. And the best part, this works for women at every stage of life, whether you're in your 20s, your 70s, or anywhere in between. You know, the whole premise is actually super simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. The food we eat, it's one of the most effective tools we have for hormonal health. This isn't about following some crazy, complex protocol. It's really just about making smarter choices, day in and day out. Yep, 5. That's the magic number we're focusing on today. We're talking about just 5 essential, truly transformative foods that can make a huge difference. And don't worry, we're gonna break down exactly what each one does, and most importantly, when to use them. And let's be real, so many of us are struggling with this stuff. Whether it's those unpredictable cycles, the crazy mood swings, the fatigue, or hot flashes, man, it can feel like a constant battle, right? But the good news, the really great news, is that we can get back in sync with our bodies. We just need to understand what they're actually asking for. And this quote from Dr. Mindy Pelz, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. It really pinpoints the core problem. For so long, we've been taught to think about our hormones as this one big messy thing. But the truth is, they have very, very different needs. And we've been missing that huge piece of the puzzle. Okay, so this brings us to the central idea, the concept that kind of unlocks this entire strategy. I want you to think of your hormones as 2 sisters with 2 very different appetites. I love this twin sisters analogy from Dr. Pelz because it makes things so clear. Okay, so you've got estrogen and progesterone. They're basically in the same family, right? But they have completely different personalities. And the most important part for us, they crave totally different foods. All right, so let's break down their styles. You've got estrogen. She's all about that keto-biotic vibe. She wants to keep your blood sugar nice and low and stable. But then you've got her sister, progesterone. She is all about hormone feasting. She actually thrives when you eat more healthy carbs. And that is the fundamental difference we need to understand. Okay, so with that 2 sisters framework in mind, let's jump into our first 2 foods. These perfectly serve those 2 different needs. One for building up our hormones, and the other for helping our body break them down and clear them out. All right, food number 1. And it's a fan favorite for sure, the avocado. This thing is a total powerhouse, and it falls right into that estrogen-supporting camp. So why exactly does avocado work so well for our girl estrogen? Well, a few reasons. First off, it stabilizes your blood sugar, which, as we know, estrogen absolutely loves. Second, it's packed with those good fats that are amazing for nourishing your brain. And third, it feeds your microbiome, your gut bacteria, which is absolutely essential for breaking down hormones later on. It's a total triple threat. Okay, let's move on to food category number 2, bitter foods. Now, I know what you're thinking, but we're talking about things like radicchio, dandelion greens, even just a squeeze of lemon in your water or some ginger. They might not be the star of your plate, but trust me, their role is absolutely critical. So here's how they help. It's actually really simple and direct. When you eat bitter foods, you are directly supporting your gut and, this is the big one, your liver. You have to think of your liver as the main processing plant for hormones. It's what breaks them down and clears them out after they've done their job. If that step doesn't happen, everything just gets, well, backed up. So when should you really be focusing on these bitter foods? Well, one key time is right around ovulation. That's when estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone are all peaking at the same time. Your liver could really use the extra help then. And listen, for any postmenopausal women out there, bitter foods can be a total game changer for hot flashes because they help your body break down estrogen more effectively. All right, let's shift gears now to our next 2 foods. These are going to be crucial for supporting the second half of your cycle, and specifically for building up progesterone. Okay, food number 3 is actually a duo, 2 types of seeds. They're used in a strategy that you might have heard of called seed cycling. It's actually a really old healing strategy, but it is making a huge comeback, and for good reason. And the process? It's honestly so simple. For the first half of your cycle, you're going to add flax seeds to your diet. They have compounds that help support estrogen. Then for the second half of your cycle, you switch over to pumpkin seeds, which are loaded with zinc to help boost progesterone. It's just a really simple way to give your body exactly what it needs, right when it needs it. Okay, quick question for you. Do you deal with a lot of anxiety, or maybe you're one of the shocking number of women whose period has just gone missing? I mean, these are really classic signs that something deeper is going on.
And that something deeper is very often low progesterone. So if either of those questions resonated with you, then our fourth food is about to become your new best friend. I'm talking root vegetables.
Yeah, these guys, things like sweet potatoes, butternut squash, acorn squash, even regular potatoes. These are those hormone-feasting foods Dr. Pelz talks about. They directly help your body build more progesterone. And this is so important in our crazy high-stress world, because here's the deal. When your stress hormone, cortisol, goes up, your progesterone goes down. They're like a seesaw. Root vegetables help you fight back against that. And that brings us to our fifth and final food. This one provides the actual building blocks, the raw materials for not just our hormones, but also for our mood. So let's talk about meat. But the distinction here is really key. Think about grass-fed steak. That gives you all the amino acids you need to be the fuel source for making all your hormones. But then you have poultry, like chicken or turkey. That's special because it's packed with tryptophan. And tryptophan is the precursor your body needs to make serotonin, the happy chemical. And this connection to mood, it's especially huge for women going through menopause. See, as estrogen levels decline, serotonin levels can often drop right along with them, which can lead to feeling down or having the blues. So getting more tryptophan from poultry gives your body the direct ingredient it needs to make more serotonin and help lift your mood. Pretty cool, right? So there you have it, 5 incredibly powerful foods. Let's pull all of this together now into a really practical toolkit that you can start using like today. Okay, here's your cheat sheet. You've got avocado to support your estrogen. You've got bitter foods to help with hormone breakdown. You've got seeds for cycling both estrogen and progesterone. Root vegetables are there to build up your progesterone. And finally, meat provides those essential building blocks and gives you that crucial mood support. Our hormones really dictate so much of our lives. Our mood, our sleep, our cravings, pretty much everything. But using these 5 foods gives you a really powerful way to start taking back control. So I guess the only question left is, which one are you going to add to your plate first?